on my brain, crypto, oh you're saying. Talk out with the code, man, I swear to the lane. Ice on my neck, that shine like a chain. If you don't talk money, man, I know what you're saying. Bitcoin hot, just body stocks. Nas with 100, but I never gas. I went out the hood.
Fuck it. What's up, guys? Welcome back. Malik here, and today we're going to be looking at my 4 trades on the NASDAQ 100 today. So, after reviewing it, actually, just now, I kind of saw that I thought I was up overall on the day, but I actually had a trade carrying over from last night. So, that's around 7 o'clock because it's 1 hour after market open. So, the market opened at 6 p.m. And then I actually got stopped out at 13 hours after 6 p.m. So that would be 6 plus 1. So around 7:07. I got stopped out for a loss of 82. So I went a little bigger with this one because I had a bigger stop loss. And I went heavier with the volume as well. I went with a 0.2, and that would actually give you $2 per pip move every way. So if it went to the upside, would have been a $2 profit. If it went to the downside, it's 2 times my loss, right? So that actually happened today. And today we had non-farm payrolls actually come out, and it's showing that people are getting more jobs, people aren't getting fired, and the market basically reacted negatively to that initially. There was a big push down, and then what really wiped me out of my positions is after that sell-off, we had one of the most violent rallies that we've seen in a while. Like, the move after that sell off just cleared everybody that had a sell side position out, because that one candle was just so violent. It literally moved up 400 ticks in one candle. Like, it was crazy today. It was just so violently bullish, like nobody expected that at all. The Nasdaq closed over 1% on the day. We're up at 15,000 on the Nasdaq 100 right now, which is crazy because we've been at 14,000 for weeks now. And then now we're just up to 15,000. So today was crazy. After that news, I'm not sure why the market reacted to that. I'd have to kind of dive into that a little more, but I'll show you all of the trades now. So the first trade, and I'm actually going to go down to the 4-hour now, so it can be a little bit more specific. So we'll go down to the 4-hour and we can actually look at where the Friday candle actually began. So the Friday candle actually began on 18, which is 6 o'clock on Thursday. So I entered around here at 14,721. So you see I'll enter on that candle 14,721.14. So it's somewhere on that candle, and then I got stopped out at, what did I say, 7 a.m. So let's look for 7 a.m. here. That would be part of the 6 o'clock candle, just 1 hour after the 6 o'clock candle. And then I got actually stopped out here at 14,762.57. So this is the risk of having a bigger stop loss, because yes, you can get the move. If I didn't get stopped out, it would have been a great move to the downside, especially with a 0.2. But getting stopped out, it was actually a risk of, let's say, 41, but because it's a 0.2, I had a total loss of 82 on that trade. You can see my stop loss here was 14,762. It blasted up so fast that it hit me out. It actually slipped me a little bit more than where my stop loss was, and that trade was a loss of 14,762. The next one was at 15. So if we're trying to get from 6 p.m. to 15 to actually know where we entered here. So 6 p.m. to 15, you add, and that's just 15 hours, because 6 p.m. is basically 000. So you add 15 hours to 6 p.m. So you would add the 6, and then you add another 6, and then what? Now you add 3. So that would be literally, you go to 6 a.m. and then you add 3, which would be 9 a.m. So I actually got it out at 9:20 a.m. or I entered at 9:20 a.m. to the sell side, and that would have been part of the 6 o'clock candle if we're looking in 4-hour bandwidths. So this was 9:21, and I entered at 14,740.53, and then I got stopped out on the same candle because it would be from 6 a.m. to 10 p.m. So this is the 10 p.m. candle. I got actually closed it on the same candle at 14,550. That's when we had that big push down after the news came out. I thought we would have continued to the sell side, but I actually closed out this trade. For a $94 profit. So I recouped all of the initial losses, and then I went again to kind of place more sell side trades thereafter. And then I kept getting stopped out. After I get stopped out twice, I was like, yeah, this isn't worth it at all. So 17 hours after 6 p.m. So 6 plus 5. So 6 a.m. plus 5 puts us at 11. So that would be on the next candle. And that's where I entered at 14,590.34 to the sell side. So you can see I entered closer to the bottom of the candle. I believe we were going to push down, and then we had this violent push up. So I got stopped out at 14,620.78 for a total loss of 1522. But this one was I entered smaller volume, so it was a 0.05. You can see I did the same thing with the sell side trade. So this was actually what was this? If we're entering a 0.05, the market went down 190, more than 190. Let's say 197, 197 or 198. So I got half of that because of the amount of volume that I was trading. So I entered with half the volume, so it moved down 197 or 8, and then that's what gave me a profit of 94.82. And then this trade now I entered at 14, so I got stopped out at 14,620.78 for a total loss of 15.22. I still had that small risk, which was half. So the market actually moved down about 30 pips, or moved up 30 pips, because I had a sell side position. So that's what gave me a loss of 1522. The next one now, the final one, is where I kind of got exhausted because I'm like, nah, there's no way the market is gonna go back into this zone and start to break above. But definitely I was wrong on that. The market rallied violently, and if I had flipped positions, this would have been a great time to enter the upside if I had flipped the position, but I didn't. I was very biased, looking for a sell, looking for a continuation, but then that definitely did not happen, as you can see today. Got stopped out at 14,656.00 at a 0.1 volume and at a total loss of 23.16, right? So I had my stop loss right into the zone, and then that's where I got stopped out for 23.6. When you have a volume of 0.1 on the NASDAQ, it's basically telling you that for every dollar move, that's $1. It's straight up like that. It's straight up like that, and I like that about it. So this is basically telling you that the market went up 23.6 in total, and that was what gave me this loss, right? That's basically what happened. But just looking at this, it's so funny. It's so funny that the market went up like this. The market went up so violently, it cleared through the zone. So all of the price action that was happening all through the week, it didn't even matter, because today it cleared all of that. Like, there was such vicious buying all around. It was crazy today. It was crazy, honestly. You can actually see Bitcoin, Bitfarms, PayPal, Square, Tesla, everybody went like crazy today. And we'll actually look at that. One of my things that I'm looking at right now is Bitfarms. So you can see that Bitfarms has a low of like 0.97, 0.96. And then today, just off of that move on the 4-hour chart, you had a move, not so crazy, but you have a move from 0.98 going up to 1.06. Small penny stock moves, but I think that this can be a big sympathy play to Bitcoin going up, and you can see an update here. Bitfarms mined 411 Bitcoin in September. So basically they're mining and keeping their Bitcoin, and then I think if the market actually flips and Bitcoin starts to do really good, I'm not sure when that's going to happen. I don't think that's for now, because we have like 5% interest rates, 5% bond yields. So you can see that even the bonds are going down. The more the bonds go down, the more they tend to yield more. And I'll show you that now. TLT is I think is a 10-year or 20-year bond, and the more that goes down, the more it yields, the more it pays out. So TLT is a 20-year bond. In the height of COVID, when bonds yield less because interest rates are so low, the actual price of the bond is very high. So this was at 150. Now bonds are at 84, and then I'm hearing that no economist predicted this move. So no economist figured that yields would get this low, that bonds would go this low, that yields would get this high, and bond prices would get so low. And this is affecting a lot of people that have bonds in their portfolio, and this is going to affect everybody that's trying to buy a house, trying to buy a car, because all of the banks back their loans by bond yields. So if they are borrowing at an interest rate of 5%, they can't sell you a loan for 5%. They have to give you something like 7%. They have to make money on it because they're running a business. So you can see that the bonds are really tanking. Like, well, we have been on a solid downtrend in the bonds, but bonds tanking definitely means that we're at some high interest rates right now, because the bonds definitely correlate with the interest rates that back the houses and the cars and the credit cards and the bank loans, all of that. So TLT is really low. Let's see what Bitcoin did today. Did Bitcoin go above 30,000? No, 28,000. Not bad still. We're at $28,000 Bitcoin today. Tesla moved quite violently. Put it on the 4-hour. It's not too violent, but it came up from the bottom. And it wasn't that bad down like the rest of them. PayPal intraday had like, you can see PayPal had a violent move down, but it's still within the cents and the dollars. So it's pretty stable. I kind of like that about PayPal. And then it came right back up. So you can imagine you're in this huge move down. You think the sell-off is going to continue, and the market comes up and closes back up here before continuing. Yeah, that's wild. That's dangerous. And that's why the markets are, you have to be careful when you're trading the markets, right? Square was at its 52 weeks low yesterday at around 41. You can see it really came up from the bottom. I'm looking to buy this. I don't know if I should switch PayPal for this, because I like Cash App a bit more, but I think PayPal really touches the globe more than Square. Cash App apps really touch the globe, you know, like PayPal has a huger TAM, total addressable market. PayPal is touching all remittances with PayPal is touching remittances with their app. I totally forget the name of their app, but they have a app where they actually send money globally. PayPal is touching all transactions. PayPal is touching US people money with Venmo. So I see in the future PayPal is going to have a lot of assets under management, and then the stock market might reward them for having that much cash on their balance sheet to like pay back shareholders or even buy back shares. They can do a lot with that cash, even though it might be people's cash. But if they have a huge amount of cash and then interest rates are low, they can actually leverage that cash to do a lot more. So say they have 5 billion and then interest rates are 1%, they can basically make money for free. Say they have they're giving loans on Venmo with $5 billion of cash. They're paying 1% back to the Fed, but then they are lending at 5%, 6%. So they can essentially make free money at that point. That's basically what happened today. Let's look out for next week. what happens, and I'm gonna actually look into the chart to see where I messed up this week, because you can see I had a lot of losses. It was basically all losses this week. Basically all losses. Like, this week was terrible. I mean, I had small wins, but it wasn't anything that really tipped the scale, anything that really got me back to the positive side. So this week wasn't that good, but I think it was not bad because I didn't blow an account or anything. I kept the risk small, and if I lost, like today, I made the 3 trades and lost, but actually 2 during the day, and I just stopped. If I can stop, I would consider that a win, because at least I held the discipline. I knew that I was wrong. I just didn't trade and tried to look for better entries and setting my risk better. But that's it for today's video. I'll see you in the next one. New equipment coming soon. All right. Bye-bye.